Hey guys, what's up? It's the real XXWXX. Today I'm going to review the Retrolink USB NES gamepad. And let's go ahead and start this up. I got my emulator running, Nestopia. Let's pick Alex. This is my favorite all-time NES game, River City Ransom. You guys might remember these little characters from Super Dodgeball or Dodgeball. I don't remember what it was called in the NES. But so far, this controller, I've been playing it for a couple of hours. It is really solid, well made, and a lot better than its Super Nintendo little brother. The gamepad feels so right, just so better. Not to say the Super Nintendo one's bad. It's just that it didn't feel quite as solid as this. Maybe because really the Nintendo controller was just a D-pad, 2 buttons, and plastic. That was it. And the Super Nintendo had the bump, the left trigger, right trigger, and those were kind of smushy. You guys can check out my review about. You guys can check out my review on that Retrolink USB gamepad. I'll put a link down here or something. Yeah, so far so good. I mean, everything's running really smooth. One thing I don't remember is that my hands didn't really cramp up or hurt when I was a kid, and now I've been playing this for like maybe 2 hours and my hands kind of hurt. This NES gamepad wasn't that very ergonomic back in the days. It's just kind of a solid rectangle made out of hard plastic, and it's really funny to like. I don't really remember being really uncomfortable playing this back in the days. One thing I do think that is kind of funny is that it's got this like blank plastic cutout thing right here, and if you guys remember, the old NES controller had like property of Nintendo, etc., etc., etc. And I don't remember the old controller. Let me see if I have one in here. Yeah, I do. This is my original Nintendo controller made into a USB stick. You guys can check out that video. You flip it around, it's got like Nintendo writing on here, but see, this one's kind of sunk in, so when you're playing on this gamepad, your finger kind of rests on that, so it's kind of weird compared to like the old school controller where it's just solid plastic. But overall, it's a good design. It's really cool compared to like the Super Nintendo Retrolink, which, you know, just felt a little weird, a little smushy. But overall, good controller for emulation on the go. I like it. I don't know. Let's pick another game here. I originally wanted to put this video in my pickups video that I did a few days ago. However, I accidentally deleted the video file that was on my flip. Let's play Crisis Force. You don't see a lot of that on YouTube. I also use this controller for Game Boy emulation. I never had this game as a kid. I remember downloading this when I was maybe like 16, and I go, Jesus, what the heck was I missing? Because this game is wicked. Really awesome game. Kind of makes me sad. I don't know why it reminds me of Einhinder. Ooh, I should do a review on that on the PlayStation. Square's first little side shooter here. This isn't a Square game, obviously. It's Konami. Just, I don't know why it reminds me of Einhinder. Yeah, so far this gamepad's holding up really well. Besides the little indent in the back, and you know the cramping in my hand, but that's not due to the controller's design. It's due to Nintendo for making, you know, a non-ergonomic controller for kids. But I don't think anybody gave a shit back in the early 80s, 90s, whatever. So far, so good. Highly recommend this gamepad for you guys for gaming on the go. Also, if you guys have any suggestions for a PlayStation emulator for a netbook or Sega Saturn emulator for the netbook, shoot me a comment. I would really appreciate that. Anyways, I don't know if it was Underpath who mentioned about PlayStation emulators and Sega Saturn emulators. I'll link you guys to him. He has a cool PlayStation collection and other video game collections. But I think it was him who mentioned about Sega Saturn and PlayStation emulators running on netbooks. And I would really appreciate it if any of you guys that have knowledge of that would hook it up with some information so that I can get some of that stuff running on here, because I wouldn't mind playing Einhander or Silent Hill or anything cool like that on my netbook. Actually, let me bring up something that I was really interested in. I don't remember ever playing this Ghostbusters game on the NES. HAL Laboratory Inc. Okay, this isn't copyrighted by oh yeah, Activision. Was this released only in Japan, or does anybody have any information on this? Because I don't think anybody's reviewed this ever. It's such a cool game. It's a cutesy little anime game, anime-esque game. Play Peter and then Egon, because they're my favorite. I like how Winston's not black, he's just kind of gray. But basically, this is a cool little game that, dang it, I got touched. You get touched 3 times, you die. Stun them, and then you capture them. Compared to the crappy other Ghostbusters game, this was really cool. This is really fun and addicting. Anybody have any information about this? Because I don't even think the nerd reviewed this. I don't remember. Oh shit. Yeah, a lot of the ghosts look like Slimers, right? But basically, you play as the Ghostbusters, and you go in these little like rooms, kind of like maze-like, and you stun them and then capture them. That's basically all you do. So A controls the stun, and then B controls your little guy throwing the ghost trap. But by far, this is one of the coolest, actually there was another one, I think, oh yeah, the Sega Genesis Ghostbusters was cool. They had similar kind of style, anime-esque, big heads, and you know, which is cool. This part is where I get messed up a lot, because I don't know how to take these guys out. Oh, sweet, I passed it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you! She hands me a rocket launcher. Sweet. Anyways, it's really cool, and I downloaded the ROM. This guy's pretty hard, the little jogger from the movie. And it's really cool, like, look at that. Is that a chainsaw wielding ghost? Anyways, I died. That's the little ghost that took the little baby Oscar, right? Yeah, wonder if Vigo's in this, or because there's a crappy Ghostbusters 2 game from Activision, and I remember that. I remember owning that game, and I was just so upset because I could never get through any of it. I remember you would beat the level, and then you would drive the Ecto-1, but I could never get past the first level, and if I did, you get to the Ecto-1 part, you hit something, and then you gotta restart the level, and I just remember hating this fucking game. And I'm talking about hatred. I was playing this, I would play the same level for like hours. I remember one time I remember looking over the clock, and it was like 8 o'clock, and then all of a sudden it was like 2 a.m. in the morning the next day. Really retarded. I absolutely hate this game. You don't get the freaking, you don't get to shoot the... Instead of a Neutrino wand and, the proton packs, you get the stupid slime guns from part 2. And I absolutely hate this gun. And you kind of just shoot slime. And some of these monsters are not affected by the slime. So basically that's it. And so stupid. And if you get stuck, And you can get stuck on your own slime, which is stupid. So, let's say it shoots him there, and oh, look at that. Dumb. I don't know if those are Slimers. Again, Activision decide. Oh, Jesus. It's just stupid. I hate this game. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Highly recommend the Retrolink USB gamepad.